What's up, everybody? Mancave Dave here in Michigan for this rousing episode of Video Game Pickups. Today is, what is today? Heck, I don't even know. Saturday, June 29th? That means I think it's my brother's birthday. I better call him. Anyway, here's some stuff I've picked up over the last few days. Did some Craigslist deals, some thrift store shopping, and just all kinds of good stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do any turnaround on my stuff, trading or selling, so stuff is kind of piling up since we're in the middle of a move, but this stuff will be here probably till this summer when I have a chance to go through it. It's really windy outside today. You can kind of see the wind is blowing in the leaves. It's really pretty, but holy moly, you're probably picking up some wind too on the video. Sorry about that. So this was part of a Craigslist deal. Got the Super Nintendo Junior to a little bit yellowed console for a Super Nintendo. 4 controllers, all the cords. It's pretty decent games. Got Street Fighter 2. Another copy of Street Fighter 2. Nice plastic cases. Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, kind of a yellowed copy. Wheel of Fortune, Deluxe Edition. Super Mario World. Killer Instinct. Battle Clash, which I actually don't think I had, Zelda, and of course Zombie Ate My Neighbors, so pretty sweet deal. Looks like there's a cut in one of these controller cords, looks like just the outside plastic though. The other parts of this deal are over here. Where are they? There you go. Got a Sega Genesis Sega CD. It's a Model 2. Rocket Knight Adventures. This is just a printout of a plastic case, but it didn't have that game. Tasmania. Street Fighter 2. Of course, Sonic 2. If you look in here, we got a couple more things. Let's see what else we got. Mortal Kombat and Ren and Stimpy. All the controllers, the cords. Another NES cord, and then there's the Sega CD. Said it works. I didn't have a chance to check it out, but take them as word. Usually the fuses, if anything's wrong with the Sega CDs, it's the fuses. You can open them up and just put in a new fuse, which is pretty easy if you're able to solder it all. So, got that. And then last, I have NES. Looks like that needs to be put back together. It's a little coming apart. The deck, cords, and games. Got Zelda, which is awesome, Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, Tetris, and then I thought that was the actual box. It's not. It's a plastic cover of a Jackal, which is a great game. So this is one of those deals where the guy didn't have a price listed, and it's like, hey, how much do you want? He's like, well, I'd like to trade for an Xbox 360. I'm like, well, you can get one for $199 plus tax. How about $200? He's like, well, I'd like to get $250. So we agreed on $225. There's a few games in there I didn't have, and I'll be able to make, with the stuff I sell, adding a few games to it, probably $350 to $400 off the deal. So that'll definitely pay for what I paid, plus give me the games that I didn't have, and some cases to protect stuff, which is always good. Next, we've got some, Goodwill deals. Electronic Skeet Shoot. I remember this game from when I was a kid. I had baseball, but not this one. There's a little bit of corrosion in the battery area. I'm going to see if I can get it out. Hopefully it'll work. It's $1.99. And these are cool. These are the, what do they call, Super Action Controller for the ColecoVision. These are $6 a piece. I've always wanted to get some of these. This one's missing one of the buttons, but which I just noticed. Figures. I was so excited about finding them, I didn't check them. Oh well. Hopefully they work. So that was a cool find. And then this, the Superjoy 3. Superjoy 3. This is something Nintendo actually sued over. Shocker. Surprised George Lucas and all those folks didn't sue because they have Star Wars on the front. But it looks like an N64 and a Genesis controller. There's a gun. It says it has like 17,000 games or 76,000 games. These are not actual screenshots. They're Nintendo games or stuff like Contra and Super Mario Brothers and some other ones. It's really like 100 games. So there's just 76,000 different versions or 7,600. But anyway, this was what, $15 I think, something like that. 14, 15. I guess I took the price tag off. It works. It's kind of fun. A little bit of gaming history there, so that was cool. Next, there's a place that's a recycling plant, and they get a lot of stuff, and they sell stuff that's still good, and they put veterans to work, which is really cool. So this box I paid $80 for. We have a pretty dirty N64 deck with no expansion, unfortunately. We've got a PS1 console. I actually asked how much it was without this, and he's like, it's the same price, just take it. I was like, alright. And we've got a couple controllers. What are these called? Trigger Command. ColecoVision. This is the largest power cord that I know of, like that actually plugs into something. It's huge. So we got that. Actually a Sega RF unit. There's the Coleco one. A Nintendo box. This is cool. Unfortunately, it's kind of messed up, the boxes, but it's a ColecoVision Expansion Module 1, which I had one that didn't work. I'm hoping this one does. It's missing the top flap, was unfortunate, but cool. And then the ColecoVision with this nifty case that goes actually over the system, so that's kind of neat. Cool, looks all good. And then in here we've got some games, a lot of manuals. But a lot of these are NES games like Robot Tank, Berserk, Othello, Missile Command, Star Master. Then we've got Donkey Kong, Zaxxon, Venture, and Donkey Kong Jr. for the actual ColecoVision. Oh, and one over here, what's this? River Raid, which looks like it needs to be put back together. So, anyway, we'll see if any of those work. So, $80, not a super deal, but as long as the ColecoVision works, those can go for over $100 just for the ColecoVision itself. I like ColecoVision. I have one in the box. The box is pretty messed up, but I didn't have the expansion one, so here's hoping that that works. Put all this stuff back in there. Alright, next, what do we got here? Stopped at a rummage sale. There's some folks said they were having one, and that they had a Super Nintendo. I'm like, well, how much do you want for it? And they said make an offer, so I did, and so I got it. So really good looking Super Nintendo, all the cords, two controllers, Super Game Boy, mouse, Stunt Race FX, Animaniacs, Barbie, there's a Supermodel, NHL Stanley Cup, Mario Paint, Donkey Kong Country, Mario World, Jurassic Park, Home Alone 2. Nothing too crazy, but I got it for $45, so pretty good deal. While I was there, I saw a bunch of PlayStation stuff, and I was like, hey, how much do you want for the PlayStation stuff? And it had $30 on it, so I picked it up. It's a PS2 Fat, a couple controllers, all the cords, games, nothing too crazy. But we got Star Wars 3, Lego Star Wars 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Rugby 2004, Grand Theft Auto 3. Well, you all can read these. Medal of Honor, some sports games, some of the usual. But as I was leaving, I looked on the counter and they had this stuff. So we got an N64 controller, the thumbstick's really good, and these, which I had never seen before, Dox Wireless. Unfortunately, they didn't have the receiver, so I need to find one of those. I was like, hey, how much do you want for the controllers? And they're like, oh, I don't know if he wanted to sell those. I think they might go for his PlayStation 3. I was like, well, these are actually Nintendo controllers. They say Nintendo on them. They go for the Nintendo 64. How about $10? And they're like, yeah, sure, sounds good. But I made sure I left my contact info just in case the son decided he didn't want to sell them, because I certainly don't want to take advantage of them either, especially when they're giving me a pretty good price on stuff. So, yeah. There's that. So much stuff, my goodness. Alright, here's some stuff I stopped at a pawn shop and picked up. All this was $80, so we got for the PSP, Dragon Ball Z, Shin Budokai Another Road, Clock Tower 3 for PS2, and Okami for PS2, Super Mario All-Stars, Q*bert 3, which I didn't have, Virtua Racing Deluxe for the 32X, which I didn't have, Dr. Mario 64, which I didn't have, which is kind of surprising, for Game Boy Advance, Golden Sun, Paperboy and Rampage. Enjoyed those games on Nintendo. What else? Hamtaro, Ham Heartbreak. And also for the Game Boy Color, Hamtaro, Ham Unite. just sounds very Japanese. Even the artwork looks that way. And kind of a rough copy of Crystallis for the Game Boy Color. I also picked up for the DS a Castlevania game. Something Ecclesias, maybe. I don't know. I just started playing it, so I don't have it here. But $80, the guys gave me a pretty good deal, and you know, for buying these at list price, it'd be at least double that. So pretty good deal there. Last but not least, this is from a little place here in town. Great store called the Record Rack in Escanaba. So we got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for the DS. Pokemon Explorers of Time, Explorers of Dungeon, or I'm sorry, Darkness, and this one over here is Explorers of Sky. And because I was buying in bulk, they gave me a pretty good deal on those. Let's see, Twilight Princess for the Wii, it was $10, which surprisingly I guess I didn't have. At least I didn't have it marked down. Wario World for the GameCube. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis for PS1. He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, The Origin, first 10 episodes. He-Man was one of my favorite shows as a kid. I actually have the old-time show. I haven't seen this new reboot, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Because I'm a big nerd like that. Let's see, The Unholy. Love these cheesy, scary movies. And The Terror Within 2. Figured I'd give it a shot. And they actually had a bunch of games that I didn't have. So we got Ninja Kid for the NES, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, I was very excited about, Ultima, Quest of the Avatar, which I didn't have, and Nightshade, I have it, but this game's going for like $15 and they only wanted $5.99, so I figured I'd grab it. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, it was only $5.99, and Excalibur 2097, which I didn't have. I was glad to add that. What's this? Brain Lord, looked interesting. And J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, Volume 1. So, not sure what that game will be like, but figured I'd grab it. For Game Boy, we've got Maru's Mission and Sword of Hope. Game Boy Color, we've got Mortal Kombat 4. These are all games I didn't have. And then for Game Boy Advance, we got Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Mario Party Advance. It's kind of interesting. It's a real big case. Drill Dozer, which was a really good price for that. And then Donkey Kong Country 2 and Donkey Kong Country. So they gave me a pretty good deal on all of that stuff. I was excited to get it. A lot of stuff I didn't have. So my video game collection worth is currently at 31 grand, which is crazy to me. And that's just based off the video game trader app I use. It tells me what I have and on prices. So, you know, some stuff is not as good of condition as it asks for. Then again, I also have double and triple of some stuff, so I figure that number is fairly accurate. So that's pretty cool. And that's not including this stuff today. But anyway, from here in Michigan, this is Mancave Dave. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all at the next sale. Take care.